Hey there, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that you do not regret it. If you follow my channel or if you've seen on your way to this video, you might already know that I actually just did a 100% playthrough of a very classic game, Final Fantasy VI. And boy, I mean, it's a great game. I gave you some commentary after the game was finished. So if you're interested in that, definitely go and check that out. It is a wonderful game. It's held up pretty good, and I definitely understand why it's highly regarded in the video game community. But with all that said, let's talk about some what the fuck facts about Final Fantasy VI. So the first what the fuck fact about Final Fantasy VI that we're going to talk about today is the fact that every character can equip shields. When you think to the different sort of archetypes that are present, you've got a thief, an unarmed bruiser, like DBZ character. Obviously, I'm referring to Sabin. We have magic users. We've got, someone that throws cards. We've got all sorts of archetypes. Like a ninja, referring to Shadow. All sorts of archetypes that you don't associate with normally using a shield. But yet in this game, they certainly can. So yeah, I've never seen a ninja with a shield and his sword. I've never seen, a combat hand-to-hand fighter like Sabin with a shield and his claw. I mean, okay, the claws, sure, we've seen that. Sabin uses claws in this game. But we've never seen that sort of character with a shield in his claw, or a thief with his dagger and his shield. We don't see wizards running around or magic users running around with their cloak and their staff and their shield, right? We don't see that. So very, very weird and like, what the fuck? Our next what the fuck fact for Final Fantasy VI? Well, remember I just talked about how everybody could use shields. So you would think that it would be consistent and so that there would be no armor restrictions whatsoever. However, that's not the case. Only certain characters can use the most protective helmets. Okay? So characters like Locke, and Shadow, Realm, Strago, they can't use like a gold shield. All their hats and helmets mostly have to be cloth based. I mean, as you can tell, you can do like an iron helmet or something like that, but the heaviest, most protective helmets can only be worn by those sorts of characters. So if you're a thief like Locke, a ninja like Shadow, you're not able to equip all the helmets in this game. What the fuck? Our next what the fuck fact is about hair. That's right, hair. I didn't notice this when I first played the game back in the 90s, but boy, this game loves mullets. There's just a bunch of characters with mullets. The two that I'm going to call attention to, though, is of course Sabin and Gao, right? They both got that mullet ponytail, which a number of characters do in this game, but then they've got like the Guile flat top up top. Other than a little bit of a color difference and a little bit of a size difference, Sabin and Gao sport the same Guile up front, party in the back. Heck, even the last man of the game has a little bit of that going on with his ponytail and his hair. Not full Guile mode, but definitely getting there. So yeah, I don't know what's up with the mullet ponytail. I don't remember it being prevalent back in the 90s. But nonetheless, it's popular in Final Fantasy VI. So, what the fuck? Alright, this next what the fuck fact, I will admit, is a little bit nitpicky. But it was something that came into my mind as I was doing my recent playthrough of Final Fantasy VI, which is, you escape the Magitech factory with the help of Cid through this minecart railway area. And it looks horrible. I mean, again, I don't remember having that thought back in the day. So the fact that I'm complaining about this in the year 2021 could be a large factor. But wow, it really just looks like a bunch of square, orange, brown, different shades of brown, squares, pixels flying at you. It just, I don't know. You kind of look at it and you're like, oh, what the fuck? All right, our next what the fuck fact features Sabin. And a little bit Edgar, but really Sabin. Whoa, that is an overpowered character. So is Edgar more in the beginning of the game because his tools, special ability, gives you a bit more variation at first. But with Sabin, as you learn more and more blitz attacks, they get more and more versatile in their applications and more powerful. Need to hit multiple enemies? Cool, why not throw a fire dance at them? Or possibly the wind attack. Need to do moderate damage to a single energy? Great, let's go for an aura blast. Do you have Bum Rush yet? Well then, there's no better single attack in the game. It does 9999. Sabin is completely overpowered. As you're aware, there's even a famous scene where he uses Suplex, one of his blitz abilities, to suplex a damn train. What the fuck? Alright, so here's something else that makes me think, what the fuck? And that is the fact that when Kefka, spoiler alert, poisons everyone in Doma, there's some questionable things going on. First of all, did everybody drink water at the same time? Other than Cyan and this one other dude? Like, they all die at the same time, which would suggest they all drank the poison at the same time. Not only that, the water is clearly discolored. So even if everybody did decide to all drink at the same time, would they not notice that instead of blue water, it's purple water? I know that's a bit of a nitpick, but yeah, it seems like the perfect storm. Really doesn't seem like it should have been that easy for Kefka to destroy the entire population of Doma, but it's a video game, and he was able to do it. What the fuck? Alright, so our next what the fuck fact is, I know there's really no main character of the game, but if you had to pick a main character, it would be Terra. You start the game with her, and a lot of what goes on is really focused around Terra. Okay? With that said, as you play through the game, you discover that Terra is half human, half Esper. How does something like that happen? Well, they show you. You see, Terra's mother is a human, Terra's father is an Esper named Manduin, but they show us a scene that basically shows us the reason why those two hooked up is because they were just curious to see if it could be done. What the fuck? And the next what the fuck fact is, when you look at Emperor Gestro from this game, to me, and it's always been the case, he looks like a basset hound. I mean, I know that it's supposed to be a human, but when I was a kid, I wasn't quite sure, and to me, he looked like a dog. It looks like he's got long ears there, where his hair is. Looks like he's got a big puppy snout with a little nose. I don't know. I don't know if you see it or not. You may not understand what I'm talking about at all. But to me, whenever I look at the Emperor for Final Fantasy VI, I see a dog. Alright, now these next what the fuck facts, I will say, I know we're going to be in the weeds here. So I'll admit that first off. So the first thing I'm going to mention is the fact that you can, of course, rent Chocobos in this game, as you can in most Final Fantasies, unless you own them outright. Nonetheless, you ride these Chocobos to certain points, avoid enemies while you're on them, and can cover large distances in a fraction of the time. However, if you press the wrong button, you know, the B button or what have you, you immediately get off and it goes away. This is explained to you in the game, but I don't know. I still feel there should be a message that says, are you sure you want to get off your Chocobo? Just in case you accidentally press the B button, which, believe me, has happened before. And when you do that, you're basically throwing 250 gil down the drain, and you can also be marooning yourself in the middle of a long journey and be treated to a bunch of random battles that you didn't want to have. What the fuck? Also, and I just discovered this on my last playthrough, for whatever reason, when you are in the Cave of Espers and you have Mog with you, he will stumble on his dance moves every time. I tested it thoroughly. Certainly he stumbles outside, but it's at an exponentially lower rate than if he's in the Esper Cave, where that rate goes to 100%. What the fuck? Here's a quick what the fuck fact. You can use toilets in this game. I didn't discover that as a kid, but sure enough, if you see a toilet in this game, you can hover over it, press the action button, and your character will sit down and tinkle or dump whatever the little tink sound is. What the fuck? And my last what the fuck fact was something that I guess I really didn't catch or think about when I was a kid, when I played this game when I was younger. But it's definitely something that I noticed playing it, as I'm older. And that's the fact that Terra, throughout the game, is really preoccupied with the fact that she may never find love. I don't know if that's an Esper thing, where they're so consumed with love and I don't know if it happens if we don't try. Will I ever? I don't know. But yeah, she's concerned about it, and the world is ending. Yet Terra keeps commenting, will I ever find love? Again, that is not something I caught when I was younger and I played this, and I think it's kind of ridiculous because it doesn't go anywhere. We never see her find love. We see that she survives through the game, which becomes a question at some point, but we don't see any sort of love interest in this game for Terra whatsoever, yet it is something that she cares about deeply. I hope you enjoyed my What the Fuck Facts about Final Fantasy VI video today. Hopefully you found it entertaining, maybe even a little funny. But make no mistake, this is a great game, and you should definitely play it if you haven't already. And if you haven't played it for a while, you should definitely go back. It's a great experience. Graphics hold up pretty much as most Super Nintendo 16-bit graphics do. The music continues to be awesome, and the story is definitely top-notch. As you can tell from this video, though, there's still going to be a little goofiness here or there, but all in all, you won't regret going back to this game. Hey, thank you so much for checking out my video today. I really appreciate you stopping by at the House of D. If you like what you see today, please make sure you not only subscribe, but give us a like, throw a comment in there, and make sure your notifications are on. It helps a lot, and make sure that you know when I've uploaded my next video. I am, of course, a host of a podcast, the Omega Level Nerds, so if you want to hear 4 Omega Level Nerds talk to you about some real nerdy shit, I suggest you head on over to our new YouTube channel where we upload the video of the show. Of course, if you're an audio-only person, you're like me, you like to listen to podcasts while you work, we got you covered there as well. The audio version of the show is uploaded on the Apple Podcast app, Podbean app, and basically wherever else you can find podcasts. So, please, check us out. You won't be disappointed. But again, thank you so much for stopping by the House of D today. I hope you have a great day and hope to see you back soon. Peace and love. And we'll see you again soon.